Hello folks, I hope you're well. So, yes, after all that has been said recently, then it's important to do this video. Yeah. I think I've done a video recently talking about the fact that when we're waiting for God to do something, but when we're expecting God to do something but don't know what, we try to understand, we try to figure out what it might be, how it might be done, etc, etc, etc. So, when talking about we're supposed to be in love with God, that is more faith than knowledge or understanding. Most of the things I talk about is knowledge and understanding. They've been walked out and understood, tested. This one, not so yet. No, it's very, very new. So it was only yesterday, that I understood that that's what God was doing during the 8 months. Well, okay, if that's true, then, well, the reality is God is going to have to prove that himself. I can't. It's like all things. I'm getting to the point, I'm getting really fed up now. I said to God, come on, I'm getting really fed up with this point. I keep saying something, and whenever it's a possibility of testing it, it fails every time. When I'm expecting you to do something, you don't do it. Now again, it could just be that I'm wrong expecting you to do it. That maybe you didn't say you were going to do it in the first place. That can happen. It can happen to us all the time because we want things to happen. Because we want to see God. We want to see God doing stuff in our lives. So therefore, yeah. But as with all things, it's that point of saying, okay, we're just going to have to see. It's like this whole point of eating from the tree of life. It just makes sense to me that that must be possible because there's two trees. But also, when God was saying to me, why do people still die? Well, the reason why people still die is because they're eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Therefore, there must be a way of not dying, because otherwise, why would God say, why do people still die? It just makes sense that you must be able to eat from the tree of life. Okay, how? I haven't done it yet. Not that I know of. I haven't done it yet. Although, something I did understand earlier last night, actually. I was talking to God about all of this, and something that got into my mind was very, very true. God basically said to me, how would you explain that after sin, people still lived for a good while to 600, 800, 500, 400 years old? No, they don't, but they did. How would you explain that? Well, the only explanation I had is that obviously Adam and Eve were eating from the tree of life. They had no death or decay in them at all. Now, maybe it took a long time, therefore, for what was in them to be replaced with what was the fruit of that tree of knowledge of good and evil. That death and decay to take over. And after a certain amount of generations, it took over. Well, for goodness sake, I hope that's not the case with the tree of life. It's going to take generations for us to actually receive the benefits of it. I mean, for goodness sake, that would be quite annoying. It'd take 400 years from the start of teaching, the start of people eating from that tree, for there to be any benefits from it. That would be quite annoying. Or for that tree to take over, from the tree of knowledge of good and evil in us. But again, I don't know. Don't know. And I said to God earlier, I said, well, hold it. I said also this point that I was hoping that maybe at this time, I would be moving to this better place, because this place is getting more and more annoying. I pulled my back recently showering the dogs because they stank. And I had to do it in this poxy little shower because I have no hot water in the property. So it's either the case of getting the landlords to put hot water in, which they can do, yeah. The problem is now, they can't really, because they'll have to come into the lounge where I am. That's why I'm doing this audio from the lounge, where the dogs are, where my bed is. They have to come in here, rip out the old hot water system, put in a new one, do all the piping, probably have to renew those, because they've probably been there for about 30 years, they might need to be renewed. That's going to be at least a day's work. They're going to want me out for a day. I haven't got a car. I can't get out for a day. So, and they can't work with the dogs in here, me in here. Not really. Yeah, it would be a bit impractical. So, it is what it is. But again, yeah, when God said to me, well, I felt like God was saying to me that when I move, I won't have to take anything with me. I assumed. Now, again, maybe God said the rest. Maybe God said because you've had to move so many times and start again completely. Maybe he said that. Or maybe I did. Because maybe all God said was, when you leave here, you want us to take anything with you. Because maybe I'm going to bloody die here. And maybe I'll be carried out of this place dead. Therefore, obviously, I won't take anything with me. Right? But I believed it as meaning that God's going to provide everything, or I believed it that God said that. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Because this is the point, isn't it? Is that we are learning how to receive from God, and we're learning what is God and what isn't God. So therefore, yeah. Quite often, if God does say things, we're trying to understand why, and immediately our mind comes up with a reason why. And we could easily think that that's God saying it, can't we? Easily. But maybe all God meant. Like maybe when I was in these woods, before I got Bambini, I'm pretty sure I was walking in the woods, or maybe it was just when I got him. Not sure if it was just when I got him, or shortly afterwards. Not sure when it was. But I got from God, in 2 years' time, you won't be in this area. You would have left this area. Or you won't be in this area, either way. Again, you'll have to go back to the video I did then. And it probably isn't in the title. I probably did a video talking about it, but it probably isn't in the title. So therefore, finding it difficult. So yeah, finding the exact words, I don't know. But as I say, it may just mean that God said I won't be going to those woods again because I don't have a car to take me to the blinking woods. So again, it's the, God says, but then we think it means something bigger than what it actually is. Maybe God basically says, when he was saying all that my car's going to get knackered. I won't be able to drive to the woods again. So in 2 years' time, I won't have a car. I won't have money to be able to afford another car. Therefore, I won't be going back to those woods again at that time. And also that I'm going to die in this place. And therefore, I want you to take anything with me, because I can't take anything with me anyway. Because when you're dead, you can't. The only way it's going to be proved as to what God meant is by what he does. Because if he said something, he's going to do it. Right? Absolutely. We know that by his word. If God says something, he's going to do it. There's no doubt about that. The problem is that as time goes by, we try and work out for our own peace of mind and for our hope, to build our hope up and to build our faith. We try and work out what God is saying, and we can get it wrong. And the problem is when we do, and it's what I said to God as well. Come on. If this is supposed to be an in love sort of relationship, if we get it wrong, you've got to tell us. Well, because, and this is what I say to God all the time, and I don't get how It makes no sense to him because it does to me, but again, this is how it is. His ways are ways different. But the way I said to God, I said, excuse me, if I'm a good father, if my son believes that I'm going to do something that I'm not going to do, and he's telling people that I'm going to do that, rather than him looking like a fool, I'm going to tell him, sorry, you got it wrong, I'm not going to do that. And I never said I was going to do that. But yeah, it seems like God does want us to look a fool for him. Sometimes at least. Sometimes at least. So, in the end, with regards to all these things, time will tell. But in love, at the moment, that's faith-based. That's not knowledge and understanding-based. So you take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing. Be blessed. Bye-bye.